One of the things of the design features of this place was uh, for doors. There's only one regular door. Well, actually, two regular doors that we added. One to the guest bedroom, which is a regular door that swings in, and well, I guess you call them swing doors, and then one door that goes out to the garage. Um, was really big for us to not want to use traditional doors as much as possible. So we used pocket doors uh, that go from the master bedroom into the master bathroom suite. Um, we used pocket door for the toilet room in the master suite, and we used pocket door for the um, pocket door for the guest bathroom. And the reasoning behind that was that we didn't want doors getting in the way and having to move around doors, and just we wanted doors that were sliding. And then we used a barn door for the laundry room and a barn door for the master bedroom. That way, again, you weren't using, you didn't have a door that was going to swing into space. Now, on the pocket doors, you learn one thing, and I should have known this from installing pocket doors in Bloomington about 10 years ago, but it didn't register when we were framing. My framing carpenter wasn't very familiar with pocket doors, so he put sills on the bottom of the pocket door of the pocket door. So now our doors are an inch and 5/8. All of our doors, our pocket doors, are an inch and 5/8 off the floor. So there's a big gap underneath the door. The only way to correct that was to rip it out and start from scratch, and we sure didn't want to do that. So we're going to live with at least those three pocket doors with a gap of about an inch and 5/8 underneath the door. All of our doors were found on Marketplace and found inexpensively, and that's something that we're really proud of because doors can get really expensive on a building project. And we actually found a Marketplace that fit perfectly for what our needs are. Some really good alder doors from a contractor who had all these doors left over. So we did that. So that's one of the things that you learn if you're ever going to put a pocket door in. Remember not to put a sill down on the floor because you're going to end up with a gap underneath it. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the garage. The garage is still a work in progress. We have the utility room in the garage and Stacy's craft room in the garage. Both the utility room and the craft room have 8-foot ceilings, and we decided to convert the tops of those in the garage into lofts. One is going to be a loft for my office, as well as my I want to call it my gun room and place where I do some of my gun work, gunsmithing, reloading, etc. And that's over the Stacy's craft room, and then over the utility room, we use that for storage, and for stairs to get up to the loft and into the storage area. We got those warehouse steps with wheels on it, so we can wheel one to the other. Didn't want to put regular stairs that would take up space in the garage, built-in stairs. So we opted for that so that we would have as much floor space in the garage, even though it's 26.5 by 40. Wanted a lot more workspace for workshop, etc. Now in the garage, I've never had a heated garage, and since my office was going to be in there, we decided that we were going to heat the garage. But instead of doing my HVAC guys suggested about doing a system with its own thermostat in the garage to keep the garage warm in the winter, but that was going to be very pricey. So I started doing a little bit of research, and I found that I could get an 60,000 BTU infrared heater in the garage and put it in the center of the garage, and it would keep it warm. I had the HVAC guy come back, and he ran a gas line to it. And then I finished the installation installed a thermostat. My garage is set at around 55 degrees, and boy, that's such a blessing, being able to park our cars in the winter in the garage and getting into a car before leaving and having the car somewhat warm already eh, instead of waiting here to get 2 or 3 miles before the car's warm enough to start blowing warm air in the car. And also not having to worry too much about on very, very cold days of your car not starting. So that's a plus. Now, one thing that was required by code, because again we were converting an agricultural building into living quarters, was we had to do some foundation work. We were required by code, and this is to prevent heaving. Since a post frame building and the posts are set 4 feet into the ground, there's the potential for what they call heaving or ice heaving during the winter. That it could pull the posts out of the ground when you get within a foot below grade, and you get ice around there, and that ice starts to expand, that it could cause heaving, which would then cause the sidewalls to lift up. So we were required to do some foundation work. What they required us to do was to dig down 12 inches and 4 feet out away from the building, and to put 2-inch foam all along that whole perimeter of the outside walls of the living quarters. So that was something that we had to do, and that's required by code if you're going to convert an ag building into living quarters. Then also, one of the other things that we ended up doing was we had to rework the driveway a little bit. When spring rolled around, we couldn't even take deliveries of wood or drywall or anything to begin some of the inside work, because our driveway, although it had class 5 gravel on it, the moisture in the ground from the melting snow and the rain that came in the spring prevented any trucks from being able to drive in and make any drop-offs into the garage. And we needed the garage to keep some of our stuff dry as we were doing the construction. So I had to bring in the guy that did my septic and did some other driveway work for me. And I had him extend my driveway, extended driveway, and then put crushed concrete or recycled concrete, which, with moisture and everything else, almost is like concrete itself. He dug down and we put geofabric underneath it, put some sand, and then laid some crushed concrete over the top of that. So it extended my driveway over towards the front door, so people could drive up towards the front door, and then widened my driveway and made it a lot stronger for the upcoming spring. So now, projects remaining. We have to, the storage area over the utility room, I have to put some railing up there, because whenever you climb up there and start moving stuff around, there's always the fear of something falling off or a person falling off. Right now, there is no railing. I did put a railing over the loft area, which would be my office. We just need to reorganize that. Stacy's craft room door has to be finished, and install the pocket door there and trim it. She's moved into it, but I just have to do the doors. We put all the shelving up. Pantry shelves are in, closet shelves are in. So the garage is the last frontier, if you want to call it, of things to make this complete. And then, of course, in the coming spring, we've got 160 pine trees in this backyard here that I want to have a little bit more open backyard that goes all the way to the lot line, to the west here. I'd like to open that up, so we're going to sell off or give away about 150 of the 160 trees that occupy that whole back space. Reorganize the garage, do some landscaping, fire pit, but all of that stuff is stuff that's going to wait till the spring. So that's where we are. And it's nice not to have to live in a camper. I have to say that I find some things that I could have done better, like some stuff, the electrical, putting more switches in different places. But then I reflect upon the fact that we both lived in a 23-foot camper, took showers in a camper, cooked in a camper, ate in a camper, with a dog. Little Trip was not little anymore. Was little then, he's bigger now. And I say, adding another switch and having to walk across the room a little bit to turn something on and not have a three-way switch here or something like that is not that big a deal in the greater scheme of things. So that's where we are. And if you were to ask me, would I do this again? I would say to you that about a month ago, or maybe 2 months ago, I wouldn't say a month ago, 2 months ago, I said, boy, am I tired. I'd never do this again. As I think about this and I think about what we've accomplished here, I have to say that if I were to do it again, I'd probably do it better, and might be stupid enough in my old age to want to do it again, but maybe not. But we're very happy with what we have. I walk into this place every so often. I just, look around and go, son of a gun. Stacy and I did a lot of this ourselves, and we're really proud of that. Hope you enjoyed this part of the video. Hope you, if you ever consider doing something like this, reach out, talk to me. I ran into some things that would be great pointers to bring up if you're going to do it again. So hope you enjoy this video. Hope you find it helpful. And thank you very much for watching.